If forgiveness had a formula, I would pursue a whole course just to master it. It's not that I'm in love with the whole concept of forgiveness, but I need to learn it and become it. See, I've been searching for forgiveness for a while now, singing praises and turning my life into worship just so that I can obtain it. I have been tithing and fasting just so that I can express how sorry I am, so that forgiveness would visit me and want to stay. Little did I know that forgiveness is free. It does not demand any payment or sacrifice, but it simply demands itself. A very simple concept. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Because how can you crave for something that you've never tasted before? See, I loved the idea of being forgiven. I admired the sound of God's mercy being upon me, but I never imagined myself to be the one to forgive, the one to be hanged on the cross and be crucified for my own goodness, the one to bear all the pain from people who intentionally hurt me but still have to look them in the eyes with a heart full of love. I had never put myself in the shoes of the one I was expecting to be forgiven by. Instead, I had to reflect on the opposite. I carried a heart full of bitterness and fed on the scenes of revenge that I spent decades plotting against my enemies. I was gaining weight and all the hate that I felt, but I was still hungry for a peaceful mind of state. I would sleep with the sound of pain playing in the back of my head like a never-ending lullaby. I would drain myself in sorrow and grieve at the ocean of self-pity I was swimming in. But still, I was seeking for forgiveness. For I thought maybe it was the sound of my own sin that attracted men who knew nothing but to tear me apart and run. So I thought maybe, just maybe, if I could plead enough, mercy will respond to my grieving and wipe all my tears away. But rules are rules. So I had to turn back the pages, revisit the old letters that I felt were too odd to make it in the story. One by one, I had to reshape. I had to turn them around and look at them in a different perspective. Well, the only perspective. If I, unworthy and undeserving, could be forgiven and granted eternal life, who am I not to forgive? Who are they not to be forgiven?